Hi, this is Emma and welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to bring you the 12 Days of Christmas mini-series. For day 6 we'll be making an elf hat chocolate orange cover. For this project you will need DK yarn, and I'll list the amounts in the description below, a 4mm crochet hook, scissors, a darning needle, stitch markers, some toy stuffing and of course a chocolate orange. Let's begin. To start we're going to create a magic ring, so I'm going to wrap the yarn around my fingers to create a cross, insert my hook under the first loop, pulling the second loop through and securing with a chain. Working into the magic ring we're going to create half double crochets, so yarn over and pull up a loop. We'll have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Again, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. And we're going to repeat this until we have a total of 8 half double crochets. Once we've complete, we'll then pull on the tail to close the magic ring, and we will join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Moving on to round 2, we'll chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and we will work 1 half double crochet in every stitch around. Be careful not to confuse the slip stitch from the previous row as a stitch, as this does not count, and we'll slip stitch to join. You may find that your work starts to curl the wrong way. It's just a case of pushing it out to face the right way. On to round 3, we'll chain 1. We'll work 1 half double crochet in the first stitch, increasing into the second, which is working 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, and we will repeat this all the way around. 1 half double crochet, increase into the next. Slip stitching to join at the end. On to round 4, we're going to chain 1. We'll work 2 half double crochets, so 1 and 2, and then we'll increase in that third stitch, and we'll repeat this all the way around. 2 half double crochets, increase into the next. And at the end we'll slip stitch to join. For round 5 we're going to start with a chain 1. We'll half double crochet into the first 3 stitches, and then we'll increase into the 4th, and this will be our pattern repeat. So 3 half double crochets, increase in the next. I'm just going to tuck my end in, and then we'll finally join with a slip stitch. On to round 6, we're going to chain 1 and half double crochet 4 stitches. 3 and 4, and then we're going to increase into the next stitch, and that will be our pattern repeat. So 4 half double crochets and an increase. So we've come to the end of round 6 and we are going to be changing colour. So I'm going to insert my hook to slip stitch. I'm going to hold my green tail out of the way. I'm going to grab my new colour, holding the tails together. I'm going to slip stitch with the new colour. You will notice the slip stitch will be a little bit loose, but we can tighten that up at the end. Moving on to round 7, we're going to chain 1. We'll work 5 half double crochets, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we're going to increase in the 6th stitch, and this will be our pattern repeat. 5 half double crochets and an increase. And then we'll slip stitch to join at the end. For round 8 we'll chain 1. We're going to work 6 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then we're going to increase in that next stitch, and this will be our pattern repeat. 6 half double crochets and an increase. And then making a slip stitch at the end to join. Rounds 9 and 10 are worked the same way, so we're going to chain 1 and we'll work 1 half double crochet in every stitch around for 2 rounds. So after round 10 we're going to change back to green, so I'm just going to grab my green and just pull on that tail just to tighten that slip knot. I'm going to knot the ends together just to secure until we can sew them in, and then I'm going to cut my green to reattach. We'll then slip stitch, so we're going to insert into that last stitch to slip stitch, hold the red tail out the way, hold the tails of the new colour together and slip stitch with the green. Rounds 11 to 14 are worked the same, so we're going to chain 1 and then we're going to work 1 half double crochet in every stitch around, slip stitch in to join at the end of each round. Round 15 starts with a chain 1 and we're going to single crochet, so insert and pull up a loop. We'll have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. So again, insert and pull up a loop, 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2. We're now going to work an invisible decrease, so you can see we have our V stitches. You'll have the front loop and the back loop. The invisible decreases work through the front loops only, so we're going to insert in the front loop of the first stitch and of the second stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, we'll have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and finish the single crochet, and we've turned 2 stitches into 1, and this will be our pattern repeat. So 2 single crochets and then we're going to single crochet 2 together using the front loops only, and we'll repeat this all the way around. Once we've got to the end, we are going to grab our red, so again pulling on that tail just to tighten the slip stitch, knotting the ends to secure until we can fasten them in, and then we'll snip off the red to join. So we just tuck all of those tails back inside to hide them out the way. We're going to insert our hook into the first stitch to change colour. We'll hold the green tail out of the way, add the red tail and slip stitch with the red to join the colour. At this point we are going to chain one and snip our green off. So I'm just going to tighten up the slip stitch, knot my tails together and cut the green yarn as we no longer need it. Before starting row 16, you need to make sure that you've turned your work, and we're going to be working the opposite way round now. So we've already chained one and we're going to work row 16. So row 16 is working 2 single crochets, but we are going to be using front loops only. So we have the back loop and the front loop. So we're going to single crochet into the first stitch using the front loops only. Single crochet into the second stitch, front loops only, and then we'll increase into the third stitch, front loops only. So that's placing the 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and we're going to repeat this all the way around. 2 single crochets and an increase in the third in the front loops of every stitch. And at the end of the round we're going to join with a slip stitch. Round 17 and 18 are worked the same, so we're going to chain one and we'll work 1 half double crochet in every stitch around, slip stitching at the end of each round to join. On to round 19. We're going to skip the first 2 stitches. We're then going to place a double crochet into the third stitch. So that's yarn over, insert and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We're now going to place another 2 double crochets into that same stitch. There's one and then another one into the same stitch. We're then going to chain 2 and we're going to place another 3 double crochets into that same stitch. 1, 2 and 3. Then going to skip 1 and then slip stitch in the stitch after. We're going to skip 2 and in that third stitch we'll place 3 double crochets. We'll chain 2 and then another 3 double crochets into that same stitch. We're going to skip 1 and slip stitch into the stitch after. We're going to skip 2, 3 double crochets into the same stitch, we'll chain 2 and another 3 double crochets into the same stitch. We're going to skip 2 this time and then slip stitch into the next. And then we're just going to repeat this. So we'll skip 2, we'll work 3 double crochets into the same stitch, we'll chain 2, 3 double crochets into the same stitch, we'll skip 1, slip stitch into the next stitch, skip 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, all made into the same stitch, we'll skip 1, slip stitch, we'll skip 2, 3 double crochets into the stitch, chain 2, 3 more double crochets into that same stitch, we'll skip 2 and slip stitch in the final stitch. We're then going to cut our yarn and finish with an invisible join. So we're just going to pop a needle onto our tail. The tail will be coming out of the last stitch that we worked, which was the slip stitch, and we need to locate the second stitch of the round. So the first stitch will be what we're creating a false loop over. So locate the second stitch, pass the needle under both loops of the stitch and pull it through. Where the tail comes out of the last stitch, we want to thread our needle down the center, and there will just be one loop this time as it is a slip stitch. And then we want to pass our needle down the center of the first stitch of the row. And then we just want to pull our loop that we're creating just tight enough so that it is the same size as all of the other stitches. And that is our false loop that is created. We can then just go ahead and sew in our ends and fasten off. We then just need to fold the brim back up, and this will be our elf hat complete, and we can go ahead and sew in all of the ends on the inside. To make the bell, we're going to start off with a magic ring, and we're going to secure it with a chain. Into that magic ring we're going to crochet 6 single crochets, and then pull on the tail to close the magic ring. Round 2 starts without slip stitching to join. We're just going to work our stitches directly into the first stitch, and we're going to be working 2 single crochets into every stitch around. You can pull on your tail if you find your magic ring opening, and for round 3 I'm going to work 1 single crochet into every stitch around. Round 4 I'm going to work invisible decreases, so that's single crocheting 2 together using the front loops only, and I'm going to repeat this all the way around. We'll then cut our yarn, leaving a tail for sewing on to the hat, and just pop that tail end back inside. I'm then going to get a little bit of stuffing just to stuff our bell. Once it's stuffed, I'm going to attach a needle onto the tail and we're going to close the opening. To do this, we're going to pick up the front loops of every stitch all the way around. And then we'll just pull the tail to cinch it closed. We'll then use the same tail to sew the bell to the top of the hat. We're then going to fold the tip of the hat down and we are going to sew the bell to the second row of our red strip, which is 8 rows down from the top. So just tacking it to a stitch and sewing around this a few times just to keep it secure, and then we'll fasten off and sew in any remaining ends. And this is your elf hat chocolate orange cover complete. So we can bring our orange in and pop it on. I hope you enjoy making your elf hat chocolate orange cover. Thank you for watching. Please do consider liking and subscribing. It really does help my channel out, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!